الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
Assalamu alaikum. Dear believers, those of you who have electronic devices, please turn them off. Assalamu alaikum. Dear believers, at 3:30 today, we will have a group to come in with a session dealing with voter education. So many times we hear voter registration, and the people are not even educated about voting. At 6 o'clock today, we will have a wedding here at 6 p.m. And we will have also a wedding tomorrow at 6 p.m. And let me remind everyone, once the Jumuah starts, at that moment we are in an act of worship. There should be no selling, no buying, exchanging of money and goods. And during the Jumuah Khutbah, there should be no speaking. The only one speaking is the one giving the Khutbah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The praise belongs to Allah. The praise is His, all of it. He is the Lord, the sustainer of all worlds and all systems of knowledge, known and unknown to the human being. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We witness always, we testify of our own inclination, of our own free will, that there is no God except Allah, that He is one and alone, without partners, without associates, without a likeness, without an equal, without parents, without spouse, without offspring. And we witness that Muhammad first is Allah's servant, and secondly, he is the messenger of Allah. The prayer and the peace be upon him, upon his family, upon his companions, his followers, his supporters, wherever they may be, to the day of judgment. Dear Muslims, dear believers, friends and guests, to all of you, we welcome you to the most important event of the week in the life of a believer, in the life of a Muslim. And we say to Allah, may Allah accept our Jumu'ah Salah, and may the information that is given in the Khutbah, that it be helpful, useful to the community. I mean, whoever Allah guides, there is no one to misguide him or her. And whoever Allah does not guide has no one to guide him. Dear believers, it is a blessing to be a Muslim, a blessing to be a believer, but in particular in America. And we thank Allah. One of the names of Allah, he has many names. But one of his names that between now and next week, when Ramadan comes in, because for sure it would be in next week. Next Friday definitely would be Ramadan. This name become very clear in the month of Ramadan. And this name is Al-Mu'id, a very powerful name, a very beautiful name, a name that cannot be found anywhere in the creation. As you know, Allah's attributes is exclusively for him alone. This name suggests, English is very hard to bring these things in English, but 10 things we want to put on your mind that this name brings to our mind. Allah is the one who restores. There are people who make a living. All they do is take something that someone wrote off as worthless, a piece of furniture, an old lawnmower, and sometimes even an automobile that has been written off as worthless. And they restore it. And people are amazed how they restore it, and it looks so good. Allah is the renewer. He can take anything old and make it look new. He is the one that makes things new. He brings back whatever is lost. He revives. Some of you who came out of the church, you have heard the word revival. When I was a little boy, we used to have revivals, big tent. And I didn't know that revival suggests that something had died and you got to bring it back to life. Big tent revival. It suggests new birth. And there's a church here in Atlanta called New Birth. It suggests rebirth. That it was born before and now it looked like it's being born all over again. It suggests born again. And when Ramadan is over, all of us can say that we are born again Muslims. You hear the word born again Christians. It represents new life. And it means and suggests to bring back to life. Meaning it was in a state of death. And we know this is springtime. And springtime suggests things springing back to life that was just a few months ago classified as dead. The one who brings back to the original state. This all taking place in the month of Ramadan. We become new diamonds, new pearls. We become a new person all together. It suggests to bring something back to its original self, the real self, Adam, the original self, the original man. Ramadan makes us a new person, and it makes us come into a whole new life. So Al-Mu'id is very relevant when you come to Ramadan. It suggests a resurrection. Allah says in the Quran, Mutafariya, die in order that you may live. It means and suggests to bring life out of the dead. And we are a good example, African American people who are now Muslim. There was something else before we accepted Islam. It's a good example. When many of us, we was written off as a nothing people, worthless. And then we became a Muhammad Ali. We became a Malcolm X or Al-Haj Malik Shabazz. We went from the caterpillar to the butterfly. And people, when they seen us, they cannot believe that we're the same person who used to be on the corner drinking liquor and watching the women and chasing the women. We came into a new life and became a new person. And you know, Ramadan, it comes in the 9th month of the Islamic calendar month. That if you're not Muslim, you probably say lunar calendar. The 9th month is when the baby is delivered. After 9 months, if the baby don't come, the doctor become a little disturbed because it represents delivery. And in this month of Ramadan, we are truly delivered. And we are returned to our own true self. There was a question asked, what is your own self? Say your own self is a righteous Muslim. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, every human being is born a Muslim. And many of us, we no longer use the term convert. We say revert, going back as far as you can go to what God made you originally. I mean, all those other things, the world made us like that. Say it is the parents, it is the environment, it is the situation that make you other than Muslim. And America is one of those places, if you're not careful, you'll say you're Muslim, but you stopped being a Muslim 10 years ago. You're just a shade. Ramadan returned us back to our true self and our real self. Sometimes we say we need to renew something. I've renewed people's marriage vows. They say, now we're already married. We've been married 12 years. And we want to renew our vows. It doesn't mean you're getting married again, but it does suggest that you're getting ready to go through a process that looked like and seemed like you just got married. And many times, it's not necessary that we need to renew the vow. Sometimes we need to review the vows. And sometimes we outgrow a contract. And we have to renew the contract. And sometimes we just have to review it and make some minor changes. And changes is something that people don't like. It's something that most of us, we don't like. Changes can be good. Changes can be bad. And all of the changes that take place in Ramadan for us are very excellent changes, very positive changes. So again, Al-Mu'id, the one that restores, the one that renews, the one that makes new, the one that brings things back to what has been lost, the one who revives, who gives new birth, the one who brings back to life, to make a thing born again and give it new life. So let us participate in Ramadan to get all we can, so we will be that new creature, that new husband, that new wife, that new son or daughter, that new co-worker, just new in every aspect. And the people testify that you are different, that you are better. I like you more now than I did before Ramadan. So alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Let us make dua. Surely I turn myself to thee, O Allah, being upright to him who originated the heavens and the earth. And I'm not of the polytheists. Surely my prayers, my sacrifice, my life, and my death are all for you. You are our Lord, and we are your servant. And we have been greatly unjust to our own self, and we do confess our faults. So grant us protection against fault. For none grant protection against fault but thee, and guide us to the best of morals. For none guide to the best of morals but thee. I mean. We praise Allah and we thank Him. Subhanallah, wa bihamdihi, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Glory be to Allah. The praise is with Him. There is no God except Allah, and He is bigger, greater, and more important than anything else. Dear believers, we should be student of history, mainly student of Islamic history, student of the life of Prophet Muhammad, the prayer and the peace be upon him. This is a subject that is not reduced to just the Imam. It's not reduced to just the ulama, the learned peoples in the religion, the scholar. Every one of us should know this history. Most of us, we don't know the history of Ramadan. We don't even have a clue how it even started. Some of us, we think day one, Ramadan was part of this deen, part of this way of life. And we want you to know that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gave a khutbah on the last Friday of Shaban. And by the way, this is the last Friday of Shaban. And in this khutbah he gave, he talked about the coming of Ramadan. Meaning, we at that time had never observed the month of Ramadan. The month existed, but it was not special to Allah, made it special. And in the 15th year of the Prophet mission, the prayer and the peace be upon him, the second year of Hijrah, Ramadan became part of our life, part of our deen, part of what we believe in. Take in mind the numbers of Muslims, the numbers of believers that had died before that time, that never ever participated in Ramadan. They never ever witnessed it. So Ramadan became part of Al-Islam in the 15th year of the Prophet mission, on the 2nd of the month of Shaban. Ayat 185, Surah 2, that talks about Ramadan, was revealed. Now understand, before this, Muslim fast, but they didn't fast in Ramadan. It was nothing special. What was special is the day or days that the moon is full. And lots of us, some of you who are in the medical field, in the science field, you know that the moon affects, when it's full, that it affects the fluid contents of the mind and the body. And women should know that your monthly cycle of giving up blood is connected to the moon. So the Prophet Muhammad, the prayer and the peace be upon him, and many of his companions, may Allah be pleased with them, they will fast what we call the white days. That's the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th. All three of those days, the moon is completely a circle, is completely full, and is lit up like a lamp. And the Prophet Muhammad used to fast on Mondays and Thursdays. He said, I was born on a Monday, so I would fast on Monday to commemorate my being here on a Monday. And Thursday is the day that Allah reviewed the records. And I do not want to become before my Lord with my record being reviewed without being in a state of fasting. That did exist. If you add those days up, it's about 11 days. So Muslim was fasting, many of them, about 1/3 of the month before Ramadan. So it was nothing new, except Ramadan brought in 29 to 30 days back to back. Understand, when he gave this Khutbah in the month of Shaban, this is a month that he fasted more than any other month other than Ramadan itself. He said, in front of us, ahead of us, is a month that is blessed. That it has been blessed by Allah. A month that contains the best of days and contains the best of nights. And we know that one night was 1,000 months. And it contains the best of the hours. And it is the best part of the year. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if my community understood Ramadan, they would wish that the whole year was Ramadan. So it's something that we look forward to. It's something that we want to do. It's not something that we are running from. So again, Ramadan invites us to be close to Allah, to be near Him. And Ramadan would be here next week. Some of us, we wish it was tonight, start tonight. And remember, our day starts at night. So the first night of Ramadan, when the day comes, it's the first day. But it'll be the second night. So we will see the moon, inshallah, at night, as we always do. And we will put on our voicemail. We will put on now that Ramadan has begun, or it has not begun. And we go out every month looking for that new moon. And it's a beautiful sight to see. If you've never seen the new moon, and most of you only seen the moon 2 to 3 days old, you have yet to see the new moon. It's a beautiful thing to see. And we have to prepare for changes. One thing Ramadan does, it interrupt our lifestyle. It interrupt our normal way of living. It change our routine. It change our lifestyle. I give an example, sleeping. In the month of Ramadan, I don't tell people that I go to bed and sleep. I take what we call Ramadan naps. Ramadan naps. that 6 hour, 8 hours, you can throw that out the window. It's hard to do that no more. But you take naps, and those naps energize you, and your sleep becomes worship. Eating habits, they changes. Drinking habits, they changes. No lunch. And this is the time to do Dawud. People want to question you, why are you not eating lunch? And some of us are scared to tell the people why we're not eating lunch. Oh, I'm just not eating. That's not the real deal. That's not the real deal. No lunch. That's a saving. There's a saving in your pocket and saving in the food. 29 to 30 times whatever your lunch costs. You then go out to stadium, and it's available for anyone who wants it. Our pastime, it changes. The football game, the baseball game, all of that unnecessary stuff in life is replaced with Quran. It's replaced with Islamic teaching. It's replaced with Islamic history. It's replaced with history of the companion. May Allah be pleased with them. Our shopping habit changes. And I want to share this with you. If you're doing this, you're doing yourself a disservice. The shopping habit changes. You should never shop when you're home. You're going to buy too much. You're going to spend too much. And they know that. So all your habit changes. Your spending habit changes. The way you spend your time, it changes. The way you spend your money, it changes. And the fast is a total fast. That means the entire body will participate in the fast, not just the stomach. And during that month, we guard our tongue, our eyes, our ears, our hands, and our feet. Our tongue is only saying what Allah designed for it to say. You're not in the gossip column. You're not spreading rumors. You're not lying and spreading falsehood. Your eyes are not looking at something that is evil. Your ears is not hearing something that's evil. Your hand is not doing something that's evil. Your feet is not taking to places that are evil. The whole body benefits, and the whole body is into the Ramadan and is fasting. There are many Muslims, when Ramadan is coming, just like we have spring cleaning, we have Ramadan cleaning. New sheets, new pillows, new pillowcases, new curtains, new blinds, new silverware, new plates, new tablecloths. See, some of them don't know this. Many Muslims, they take this thing very serious. And everything in their household suggests that somebody is coming to them. And you guess who it is. Ramadan is treated like a person that we love, and we haven't seen him in a year. And we are so glad that he's coming, and nothing is too good for him. And we're making sure everything is in order. We plan our time, where we're going to have the iftar. Are we going to entertain people at the house for iftar? You're planning your time, you're planning your days, you're planning your life. And time is essential, and it's priceless. How you spend your time is very, very important. They have courses called time management, where they teach people how to manage their time. Time is so valuable, most people are paid by the hours. $100 an hour, $200 an hour. And so we have to see time as part of our life. And whoever you give time to, you just gave them part of your life, and you'll never get it back. So you have to be real careful how you spend your time and who you spend your time on. Many of us, we spend little time on things that deserve more time, and too much time on something that deserves very little time. Very important. Reading the Quran and listen to the Quran They are equal. And we will see Muslims in Ramadan who have memorized the Quran, so they will test each other. They will embrace each other. One day one will recite and one will listen. And the next day one will listen and he will recite. Steel against steel, make it sharp. And only what's in you can come out of you. So you know if you're full of, then that's what's going to come out. What we full of? Premium, the best, high octane. We filled up on the Quran. We've been listening to the Quran and we've been reading the Quran. So the only thing coming out of us is what Allah has said. And again, we visit different masajid. Some of us, we have not yet visited every masajid in Atlanta. And Atlanta is the blessed city because Ramadan only contains 29 to 30 days. So if you visit a masjid every day in Ramadan, you still didn't visit all of the masajids in Atlanta because there's more than 30 masajids in Atlanta. But we go to different masjids, we visit other masajids, we have iftar, we have discussion, we get a chance to know each other. And remember that there are some people, some Muslims, some believers, this is their very first Ramadan. They have never observed Ramadan, just like the companion in the month of Shaban, when the Prophet Muhammad gave this lecture, they had never did Ramadan. They didn't know what to expect. They didn't know whether they're going to be able to even do it. We're talking about hot climate. We're talking about the desert. And you're talking about going 29 to 30 days. It is becoming a mandatory thing on the community. And many of us, we can remember the first time we did Ramadan. It is so breathtaking. You never forget it. And don't tell me you forgot your first Ramadan. I know you lying. You ain't forgot that first Ramadan. But what it does, it gives you insight of who you are. It makes you realize you're more powerful than you thought you were. When I did my first Ramadan, I didn't know whether I was going to make it or not. I didn't know whether I was going to pass out or what. And then especially the cheerleader. Better eat, better eat. You're going to faint. You're going to fall out. You're going to die. The cheerleaders. And when I did it, I said, boy, I didn't know I was that strong. I didn't know that was in me. And you know how the saying is, if you do it one time, you can do it another time. You just got to get over that first hump. But also, just like there are people who doing that first Ramadan, there are some of us. This is our last Ramadan. Last in two ways. Last, because next year you won't be able to do it because of medical issues. That's why it's a blessing. If you can fast, you better fast. Because all that coulda, woulda, shoulda, no good later on. Boy, they ain't have to take all this enough. Boy, I sure wish I could fast. Yeah, I remember when you didn't take none, you didn't fast. It's a blessing to fast. I want to say that again. It is a blessing if you can fast. And there are many Muslims, they go to the doctor just before Ramadan because they're on medication. And they want the doctor to give them permission to fast. They want the doctor to move the medication around where they can take it early in the morning, late at night. And they are disheartened if the doctor says you can't fast. You see tears in their eyes. But there are others going to the doctor to get an excuse why they can't fast. Two different spirits. And then the other group, those who will pass away, don't even know this is your last Ramadan. Won't even be here next Ramadan. And there are many people who are not observing this Ramadan. Last Ramadan. What's the last Ramadan? They didn't know it. So the question becomes, how would you fast in Ramadan if you knew this was your last? Would you give it your all? Yeah, you'll give it your all. If you knew this was your last, you wouldn't be playing games, you wouldn't be half-stepped, you'll give it your all. And we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He bless every one of us, that this Ramadan be the best Ramadan you ever participated in. The Because I'm here to tell you, they get sweeter and sweeter. They get better and better. They don't get worse and worse. They get so sweet to it, it's time to eat. And someone has to tell you, you got to break the fast. You say, but I'm feeling so mellow. I'm chilling. I feel so good. But if you don't break the fast, you're making up your own rules. So you broke the fast, just like if you would have ate at 12 noon. It's about the discipline. Eat when Allah says eat. Not eat because you're hungry. And stop when Allah says stop. And not because I'm not full. I want to keep eating. We have to remember this discipline of obeying Allah to the letter and not making up your own rules and making up your own laws. So we are preparing for Ramadan in our home. We're preparing for Ramadan in the masjid and masajid. We're praying and preparing for Ramadan as an individual. And again, some of us 3 and 4 generation of Muslims right here in America. You fasted, then your grandchildren, they start fasting, then your great-grand. Right here in America, 4 or 5 generations of Muslim. And we're talking about Muslim all their lives. If you represent the last of the person that came over from another faith, we should be so grateful and so thankful. And this is happening to the former slaves, the one that Al-Islam was taken away from. Their name was changed, their religion was changed, their culture was changed, their history was lost, again, written off as a nothing people that have nothing to offer society and nothing to bring to the table. And now we Muslims in America. They ought to classify this as a modern day miracle. So we're grateful. And we have to understand the merging of the Ansar and Muhajirin. Those who are resident versus those who are coming over. That we need each other. We don't need to fight each other. We need each other. And history has given us that example of people leaving Mecca. And you have to understand these people, when they left everything. They left their land, their own property, they left it. They left their families, their loved ones. And they try to really bring them home to you. They left the cell phone, washing machine, microwave. So you don't have a clue what these people is. And then when they got to the resident, the Ansar, the Prophet Muhammad told them, share everything that you have. And they shared it, feasted love, with no regret, with love. With love. They wasn't fighting each other. They weren't saying we better than you because we've been here and you just got here. None of that. We should learn from that. And we're living in a time when the enemy of Islam don't care nothing about you being an immigrant or an indigenous. You don't care nothing about you being a Sunni, a Shiite, humbly, Shafi. None of that. If you're Muslim, then they say you are our enemy. We have to come together based on that. If we are all Muslim, how many Ramadans in a year? We all agree. 1 Ramadan. How many Jumuah in a week? 1 Jumuah. How many Qiblas? 1 Qibla. 1 Allah. 1 leadership. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu 1 Quran. All this oneness in the religion, then how can there be so much division among us? There's something wrong with that picture. And we have to give up all these things that we know that divide us. And every one of you know what divides us. You don't have to know my Imam. I don't have to know your Imam to embrace you. You don't have to know what school I taught to embrace me as a Muslim. But we let all these things divide us. I'm this, I'm that. And then when we go to the Quran, it disappears. Where is it? Where's the Shia? Where's the Sunni? Where's all these different Muslims? Black Muslim, American Muslim. They're nowhere in the Quran. Never mentioned, never brought up. And even the Jumuah Muslim, the Ramadan Muslim, where are they in the Quran? So we got to stop using all these adjectives. And an adjective is a word that gives description. A Muslim is a noun. Just use the noun. Don't use no adjective. Don't let anybody call you a black Muslim. Just say I'm a Muslim that happens to be black. Don't let nobody call you an American Muslim. I'm a Muslim that happens to be an American. And don't let this world play you and deceive you that you can't be an American citizen and a Muslim at the same time. You divorce your citizenship because this world will make you think there's a conflict. There is no conflict. When the Muslim was in Mecca, there was no conflict. When the Muslim was in Medina, there was no conflict. And many of the major battles were fought in this month and won. And even returning back to Mecca, over 100,000 strong, that happened in the month of Ramadan. It's the month of victory. The Battle of Baha is called the Battle of Furqan, the clashes of truth and falsehood. And falsehood lost, and truth prevailed. So, dear Muslim, learn your history. Get into your religion. Get into your deen. Just don't profess it. Live it. It's easy to talk. It's a little harder to work. We have to live this religion where it becomes a form of dawah. Without giving a lecture, your whole life becomes a dawah too. And people are drawn to your lifestyle. They like what you do. They like the way you do things. So the month of Ramadan, 1,800,000,000 people, we come together. The enemy don't like it. Muslims all over the earth will be fasting, coming in a form of unity and togetherness. It's a great time. It's not a time to be sad. Dear believers, let us make dua. Oh Allah, we seek protection in you from misleading and from being misled, from betraying and from being betrayed, from oppressing ourselves and others, and from others oppressing us, from pulling others into ignorance and from being pulled into ignorance. Oh Allah, guide us among those whom you have guided. Befriend us among those whom you have befriended. Protect us among those whom you have protected. Bless us with what is lawful. Guide us among those whom you have guided. And oh Allah, none can disgrace us if you have favored us. Oh Allah, we seek protection in you from a heart that has no faith, from a tongue that is not straight, from a mind that does not remember you, from knowledge that is not useful, from a soul that is ungrateful, and from a prayer that goes unanswered. I mean.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
Dear believers, please make effort to make your lines straight. Sarat al-Mustaqim, the straight way, the only way. In other ways are crooked, and the crooked ways, they are many. Let us close the gap. Make it hard for Satan to come in our ranks and divide us against each other. May Allah accept our salat, and may He forgive us for any mistakes or errors. Allahu Akbar.
الله أكبر.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الله أكبر. Maybe Allah only min hamid. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. الله أكبر. Maybe Allah only min hamid. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Announcements for today. Like Imam was saying, Ramadan starts next week. I'm thinking first night for a possible signing would be Tuesday night. So check Masjid Tuesday night so you can know for sure we're going to start fasting that Wednesday. Also, this weekend, there's an Islamic calligraphy class that will be here at the Masjid from 9 to 5. It's a free class that's being offered, and it's not just for adults, it's for children. When you see the different calligraphy, this is what we're talking about, Islamic calligraphy. Brother wants to do a free class for the community. So please, anyone interested, from 9 to 5 tomorrow, bring your children. If they're studying Arabic, I think they really will enjoy it. Imam Dawud, tomorrow we're also having a cleanup for Ramadan. So what time are we talking about?
gonna start at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. We need volunteer brothers and sisters to come to Masjid and help clean up.
And let them know that we're gonna be, we have a meeting.
Assembly. Oh yes, the other thing we have a play set that we're going to be installing on the outside of the masjid. We need brothers to come with their tools so that they can help us to assemble it. It's been purchased and it's going to be assembled tomorrow. So we're asking brothers with tools and that kind of expertise to help us with that. So that's tomorrow from 8 o'clock. And we're gonna feed you. I'm really live.
All day.
Also, the schools, Muhammad Schools is having an educational workshop this weekend. I'm not sure what time it starts, but I know that we had flyers out in the lobby area. Also, brothers and sisters, our iftar sign up. If you have not already gotten the email from me, then Brother Gaidi will be sitting out there. We've only got, I think it's 3 or 4 days that people have signed up for the iftar. If you don't have a computer and you're wanting to sign up, Brother Gaidi is out there in the lobby to let you do that because he'll be on his laptop. We have the first day, May the 15th, that's covered, but there are no other days in the first 5 days of Ramadan that are covered. We're asking for you all to take care of that now instead of waiting to the last minute. On May, I think this is May 27th, the fourth Sunday Talim, the Health and Wellness Committee will be presenting presentation, Staying Fit during Ramadan and Beyond. And the guest speaker will be Sister Scholar Shahida Sharif. Also, next weekend will also be our Ramadan session. We have Imam Kazim Ahmed and Imam Dr. Nasir Ahmed who will be here. And I think Imam Dr. Nasir Ahmed will be doing the Jumuah on that Friday. So we're in for a treat. So we ask everyone to come out for that as well. Okay. Masjid al-Muqminun's, we're building up toward, we're looking at the beginning of Ramadan, but this is towards the end of Ramadan, the big Eid breakfast. Spread the word. No one will leave hungry, provided you buy a big Eid breakfast. Alhamdulillah. We have 2 sisters in need of housing. If there are any sisters willing to open their homes to a roommate or who has an extra room to spare, it would be greatly appreciated if you would contact the Health and Wellness Committee or speak to Brother Anis Fardan or call him at 912-755-2012. And the brother's name who's doing the class tomorrow, the calligraphy classes, Usman Khan. Also, brothers and sisters, if you're preparing for Ramadan, you want to stop and get your sausage for your breakfast every morning. So before you leave, make sure you get your breakfast sausage. $4 a pack, right, man? $5 a pack. Okay. On Thursday, May 17th, the beginning of Ramadan, Imam Furqan will be the featured speaker at the Georgia State Capitol in the Rotunda, starting at 1 o'clock until 5 p.m. And Imam, they're going to be in for a treat because you're going to be fired up. The beginning of Ramadan, too. Ooh, they in for it. Save the date, June 23rd. Masjid al-Muqminun is presenting a Pioneer Appreciation Celebration at the Helene S. Mills Event Center. Pick up a flyer and application in the lobby. This is to celebrate all of the pioneers who've been Muslims since before we got to this point. We talking about brothers and sisters who were around during the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's days, and from that point into moving into under the leadership of Imam W.D. Muhammad. Breakfast is served here at Masjid on Sunday morning, starting at 9:30 to 2. This will be your last Sunday to get that done, brothers and sisters, before Ramadan starts. So make this a joyous occasion. Make it a habit to support Muslim businesses and vendors and make community life a reality. Big Last Restaurant is now serving. Well, that's going to change starting during Ramadan, but they are available for breakfast Monday through Thursday. And please, brothers and sisters, don't forget our children, Project Smile. They have classes here from 11:30 to 3. All children ages 4 to 13, all are welcome. And brothers and sisters, I just wanted to reiterate the United Sunday that we had in Savannah last year was very, very spirited, uplifting. That was the first time we've been to Savannah in, I think, 6 years. Since then, Imam Majid Ali has returned to Allah, but we still had a wonderful time. Had a presentation by Imam Salahuddin Muhammad, who's got a book out called Our Imam. Very, very wonderful presentation. If you don't have the book, I suggest you go online and pick one up. Oh, yeah, don't forget, we also are supporting our children who are overseas studying Arabic. So, brother Hanif and sister Daia are outside selling yaza, maize and braised sauce. And there are other things that you can buy to support that effort because we're trying to support our children while they're overseas studying. Assalamu alaikum.